Hello Libra, and welcome to your reading for the week of December 11 through 17, 2023. Now, this is a reading for you if you are Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Ascendant, or have some other significant Libra placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you here. If you like the reading that you see today, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the like button, giving me a comment, things to help boost my visibility of these videos on YouTube. And if you are returning to this channel, welcome back. It's good to have you back again. As always, I'm going to be doing a full horoscope spread. I always use the horoscope spread model. This way I'm looking at all the houses and all different aspects of your life, not just career, not just love. And then that way there's a chance to have something in here that may apply to everybody. So I tend to do these that way. I use cartouche cards as my main deck because I've been using these for 36 years. Not this specific deck. It looks a little too new for that. But so I've been using those, and I clarify with the tarot. And this week I am using the Mother Peace Round Tarot. So let's see what your clarifiers are for this week. Oh, that's interesting. The world wants to come up here. In the first house, wow. Okay, Libra. I've literally got 3 cards already connected to endings, which is fascinating. There's something here in your energy. You're making some kind of a change, or there's going to be news of a change. Let's see what we've got here. All right. Oh, we got our last 2 here. Okay. So forgive me if I have a little cough today. I have, for some reason, this has been a very high allergy week for me, and medications don't generally work that well for me. So I end up toughing it out through that. So apologies in advance if I do a number of that. Okay. So for you, Libra, this week, again, as I go house by house, if you're not familiar with this style of reading, you'll get the hang of it pretty quick. Okay, the first house has to do with Aries and Aries energy. This is about you, how you present yourself to the world, how you want other people to see you, your branding, so to speak. And what's interesting here is you have fire with the world. Okay, now fire indicates that you are on fire. I mean, you are projecting yourself as somebody who may be very intense right now. Now, intensity can take a couple of different forms. Intensity can be that you are really committed to something, really passionate about something, really driven. This can also indicate that you maybe have a lot of frustration and anxiety about something, that you are looking to purge or purify something from your life, because fire can really go either way. I mean, it's in the Aries house and it's Aries energy, certainly with fire. But when I see the world here, the world has to do with something ending, like the successful completion of something. And I always see the world, I mean, a lot of readers talk about the world as an ending, and it is. That's correct. But I also see the world as about a matter of expansion. Like, okay, you've successfully ended this, and now you're out to broaden your horizons. So I feel like you are at a point where maybe you are hot to bring something to an end. Or there's just something about you, about the way you take care of yourself, about the decisions you're making for yourself in your own life. Yeah, there's going to be some ending coming up, but the world is actually a really good type of an ending. It says that you can look back and be satisfied and say, okay, I accomplished this. This is great. Now I can leave this aside and I can move on to the next thing. So I think some of you are interested in making changes, and this would have to be to, again, like I said, it has to do with your what you identify with, the things that you have only, the things that you have always, other people have always believed to be true about you, or maybe that you believe to be true about yourself. Something here is ending, and you're you're getting rid of what doesn't work here anymore. Now the second house is your Taurus house. This has to do with your finances. So this is money, possessions, potentially your values, and this is your personal finance, by the way. I say this because you have a finance, other people's money house directly opposite in the 8th house, and what I'm seeing there does seem to apply to the other people's money thing, so that's why I'm mentioning it, but we'll get there. Okay, So financially, you have the Sphinx with Judgment. Okay. Now, for some people, this could mean money coming in from a legal matter, okay, because Judgment does have to do with the law, potentially. But with Sphinx, I feel like this is something, again, there's some kind of a matter in which you have been sitting back and not really taking action. It's kind of, this is like a wait and see card. This is about secrets being revealed, about waiting for all the information on something. But with Judgment, there's this sense, again, of something coming to an end. There's a sense that you are waking up to something. Judgment has a lot to do with awakening. And with that awakening, you are, you're going to have to make some decisions, okay? So it's going to be decision time. And to see that paired with this fire energy in the first house and the world, I mean, yeah, I feel like somehow something connected to your, whether it's a job you're at, whether it's something else about your finances, maybe you're trying to get rid of a debt, maybe there's some other kind of financial situation, maybe you're trying to build something or have some kind of financial goal. You could be clearing out some of your stuff. You know, there's so much that's connected here to this Taurus house. So take it as it resonates, but there definitely seems to be the sense that you are in a period of waiting to see right now, but that, you know, whatever comes about, there's going to be some kind of a judgment. If this does have to do with a legal matter, this could be just suggesting that you are waiting to see, you know, where something goes. So again, that's not going to be an interpretation for everybody, but if it applies, then that's for you. Third house is Gemini energy, and this has to do with messages, have to do with short journeys, brothers and sisters. So there's a sibling energy to this house, and also self-effort. So this would have to do with if you are in business for yourself, or anything else that you may be doing by your own efforts and not necessarily on behalf of or for somebody else. And you have Sirius with the Ten of Swords. Okay, so Ten of Swords, again, there's this to me, I feel like there's a message of an ending here. Now, this could have to do with business, could have to do with something in a sibling relationship. I'm not, you'll have to see how that applies to you. But you have it with the Sirius card. So there's this sense of maybe hitting a wall or something ending here and needing to look at a situation differently. Sirius has to do with strength. It has to do with it's Aquarian energy, so this is about thinking outside the box. You know, that kind of energy always tests us. It tells us, okay, the way you've been doing it isn't going to work anymore. Now you need to find a new way, okay? And this may require creative thinking, okay? So this ending is going to bring you into this new Aquarian kind of space, which, you know, next year, probably most people who follow astrology know that Pluto is moving into Aquarius. So there's definitely going to be, you know, wherever Pluto falls in your astrological chart, that's probably going to be the area where you're going to see these kinds of challenges and tests that are going to make you try to see things differently. Holding on is never a good idea. It's time, like you see these people all just kind of jumping into the water. Yeah, that's the idea, is that you're taking that leap. You're no longer trying to cling to this other way of doing things. At this point, there's nothing to do but take the leap. This really interprets the Ten of Swords as a kind of leap of faith, which is interesting. Fourth house is Cancer energy. So this is your home, your family, your ancestry, your environment. I mean, the what makes you feel secure. And we have the Hierophant with Osiris. Yeah, so that's really interesting. And seeing Sirius over here and seeing it with the Hierophant over here, this to me is energy of, you know, you're probably a very traditional thinker. When it comes to your family, you may be traditional. There's this idea of wanting to have a solid foundation or be in a solid place. Because Osiris is about, it's actually strong father energy, and this is in the mother house. But there's just this strong energy of, wanting to be on solid ground, wanting to have a foundation. There may be a strong connection there to your family, or at least to doing things in a very traditional kind of a fashion. And I feel like this is, I don't know, we're in the holiday season. This Hierophant card may be saying, okay, that, with the holidays, maybe we're returning back to family, maybe turning back to tradition a little bit. Maybe that's where we're looking for our stability right now. But with all these other changes that I'm seeing here, I don't know. Ultimately, I always feel like Osiris comes back around to you relying on your judgment, you being the leader, you being kind of solid and in control of your own situation. But I feel like there's something about tradition that is resonating with you right now, or that feels like where you want to go, or where you want to be. Although that could be in a little bit of conflict with some of the other things going on here, especially with this serious energy and this Ten of Swords that says, okay, you may need to take a leap into the unknown or into something else. Okay, fifth house, Leo energy, creativity, children, love affairs. Okay, so strictly for people who are interested in having children, or maybe are in a love affair or relationship, because that, this is not, again, so this is obviously not going to apply to everybody. But for some people, when you see Buckle of Isis in the fifth house, somebody is pregnant, okay? I'm just saying that. It doesn't have to be you. It could be somebody around you. But there's definitely this sign of, this is a very strong fertility card in a house dealing with children. So that frequently will come up. Now, of course, we have it with the devil. So the devil is energy, well, this is usually energy of being held back, being tied back by past patterns, not letting go of, toxic patterns of some kind. So again, if this is in a relationship situation, it could be a toxic relationship, maybe one that you need to free yourself from. Or it could be, for some people, but let's just hope that people have the pregnancy here. This is something that is planned and wanted and so forth. But there is the possibility for some people that maybe this is something that's going to feel restrictive. Okay, so just throwing that out there. Again, not for everybody. Also, though, if you are in a love affair with somebody, devil is definitely about lust. Okay, but it's interesting because this is a card of lust and more like carnal relations with the card that has to do with fidelity. So it's interesting. I feel like there's going to be, if this is about a love affair, there's going to be some tension between the physical aspects of a relationship and the idea of committing to something more serious. If this is about children, there's definitely this sense of, there could be a pregnancy here, but there could be some toxic energy around it, or some energy that needs to be released or changed. Perhaps that's some of the change that we see here for some of you, that something may need to be dropped or let go of in order for this to in order for you to I don't know how else to put it, like in order for this to go as smoothly as possible for you. Okay, and if you're not dealing with a love affair or a pregnancy, then this would again have to do with efforts that you're making. I feel like the message in my head here is don't give up on something, okay? If you have a creative project or a talent or something, this is saying you don't want to give up. You may have the devil in that case may be this voice in your head that's telling you either you can't do it, or you're not good enough, or that you're facing certain limitations. And I feel like this says, no, the work you put in is going to be worth it here. So again, take all this as it resonates. Sixth house, this is Virgo energy. And Virgo is about health. It's about your job. It's about, worry and anxiety. And it's also potentially about domestic animals if you have pets. Okay, so we've got the twins with the Chariot here. And this is interesting. Chariot is Cancer energy. So I feel like when the Chariot shows up, there's this idea of moving, taking control, moving ahead on something. Twins, in this particular house, there's a couple of possibilities here. For some of you, this could be, because I'm seeing Sirius over here. Sometimes for some people, this could be in terms of your health, like maybe working with a trainer or something like that, a personal trainer, or somebody, who might be helping you with some aspect of your health, a nutritionist or something like that. That's possible. It also, if it has to do with a job, there could be some kind of partnership that is significant somehow in terms of the work that you're doing. But with the Chariot, there's definitely a need to get control of something. There's a need to, and again, if we're talking health, it could just be saying, okay, I'm going to work with somebody to, get my health habits in order. But Chariot also is just about movement, moving ahead, having all the information you need to take control. So yeah, however this ends up applying, there's definitely a sense here of, somebody else who may be around to help out with a situation with work or with a worry or a concern. And whatever this person, whatever their role is, they're going to actually help you move forward in some way. Okay. This is your house, Libra energy, and this has to do with partnerships. Partnerships of all, usually legalized ones. The ones down here in the 5th house, those are more love affairs. Excuse me. Love affairs, unlegalized situations. This will be more about legal partnerships and also business partnerships and just other significant relationships of the moment. And you've got Lotus with the Star. Okay, so for some people, Star is a nice card to have here because this can be a wish fulfillment in terms of a relationship. So if you have had anxiety about a relationship, this may be saying, maybe you've been feeling vulnerable. There's definitely the sense that there's a lot of potential for something to grow. So that would be good news if you are either having issues in a marital or a business relationship, or if you are contemplating marriage with somebody or wondering if it's going to happen. There does seem to be still a lot of potential here, but there is definitely a need for calming the mind or calming anxiety in some way. So I don't know, seeing the twins over here in the 6th house, in the house of worry, there could be a concern about a relationship. And this is just saying, worry about healing, worry about taking care of yourself, getting yourself centered here. This is card 15, 16, 17. Okay, so I just was curious to know what the number was on that. Yeah, this is definitely about you allowing yourself to be vulnerable, but also working on healing yourself and opening yourself up to potential. Okay, 8th house, Scorpio energy. Okay, Scorpio has to do with transformation, and it also has to do with other people's money, which is why I mentioned it in connection with this. And the reason I say that is because you have the Earth card here. So the Earth card often shows up when there is money coming in from another source. Oftentimes, this is a house of legacies, inheritances, gifts, things like that. So there could be some kind of financial monies coming to you. It doesn't have to be connected to a legacy or an inheritance. It could just be some kind of financial support coming from somewhere else. But you have it with the 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands is, again, this is a card of, it's not quite like a 10, but this does represent an initial stage of completion for something. It's like a gateway that you are passing through. When I look at this one, this one is, on this card, they have a little bit more of a maypole energy, like people celebrating something, which is an aspect of the traditional Rider-Waite deck, where you have this idea of celebrating some initial level of completion of something. So this fits in with the energy of something successfully coming to a conclusion. Though with this is saying whatever's concluding now, you're still at the beginning of something new. 4s would indicate, okay, yeah, this is an initial stage of completion, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff to go on here. And to have this, this Earth card here, that's very strong energy around something with other people's money. Whether a legacy or an inheritance or something like that applies. The fact that I see Judgment in the 2nd house, that yes, for some of you, this could be money coming from a legal settlement or something as well. But again, it's not necessarily going to be for everyone. Take it as it resonates. But I just thought that was interesting that was coming up. So if money has been an issue for you, there may be money coming in from a source other than your work or your own efforts. Okay, 10th house is Capricorn, and Capricorn is about your fame, career, reputation. It's the position of the father. And you have Winged Disc with 10 of Wands. Okay, another 10. We have a 10 down here. We have Judgment. We have the World. We have all these cards that are about endings. And 10 of Wands says you need to lay your burdens down. You are taking on too much. 10 of Wands is a card of being overwhelmed. When you feel like you have too much responsibility, or you need to take on too many things, or there's too many balls in the air, too many things in play, and you just know that you're tired and that you need to drop something. And Winged Disc definitely promises success. So there is no need to overburden yourself. When I look at that in connection with I'm sorry. You know what? I'm completely giving you the wrong house here. Let me back up on that. This is the 9th house. Sagittarius energy. I don't know why I want to skip over Sag today. So let's back up. Sagittarius energy. Okay, this is about long distance travel. It's about, maybe there's something to that. Maybe this is meant to be the 10th, but long distance travel, higher education, religion, philosophy, and that sort of thing. In which case, yes, there's still this idea of, there's some burdens that need to be dropped. This definitely augurs success. If some of you are students, then this might be indicating this would be a perfect manifestation of the end of semester, where you're trying to finish everything up at the last minute and you may be really stressed out, but you will get there. For other people, this could indicate dropping one's burdens and, managing to get through everything and to finally complete, again, this idea of completion with the winged disc. It may culminate in a long trip somewhere. So take that as it resonates. Okay, now let's do Capricorn energy. This is your fame, career, reputation, potentially the father. Okay, so you've got Hathor with the Son of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. Okay, Hathor. As a career, Hathor has to do with things that were traditionally connected to women. So more Venus type things like beauty or fashion or aesthetics. It can also just indicate a female who is strong and makes her way in the business world as well. So, but if this could also apply to some of the more things about more like Venus in the 10th house, things that that are related to things that were traditionally associated with women. Okay, and you have it with this Page of Swords. Okay, so Page of Swords can indicate a number of things. It can indicate a situation where maybe you feel like somebody's watching you, maybe you feel like there's some kind of gossip or something going on, or maybe somebody who doesn't have your best interest. Now we're coming on to Mercury retrograde. So, the other possibility here has to do with signing contracts. But this is not going to be a good time to do that. Mercury goes retrograde on the 13th, and I don't recommend signing any contracts until after January 1st because of that. If you absolutely have to, get somebody to read the fine print before you do. And but the other possibility here is you just may be in a situation where you need to seek more information about something. There could be news or messages coming in. But again, Hathor to me is very, I would feel the advice in this house would be about getting yourself organized, getting things together. And it definitely suggests a talent here. But I don't know. I just feel like there may be somebody connected to the work you're doing that maybe you need to take a closer look at. Maybe this is someone you need to end a connection with or purge out of your sphere. So take that as it resonates. 11th house is Aquarius energy. And Aquarius is friendships, goals, hopes, wishes, things like that. And you have it with, and also your networks, your social networks. You have Ta with strength. Okay, so this indicates a couple of things to me. For one thing, I feel like there is strength and support. The fact that this is directly opposite the twins in the 6th house suggests to me that this is it's opposite the 5th house. There's a need for strength, there's a need for restraint, a need to act in a manner that is ethical. And with Ta, there's a sense of this is a strong masculine energy, a strong creative energy, the master maker, the builder. So I feel like you may be making new friendships, or you may just have certain friendships that are very strong for you. With Ta, this could potentially be a relationship to a man, but it doesn't have to be. This is strong Leo energy. This is Capricorn energy. So, and there you go. There's your Capricorn, of course, across from here. You have the Devil. So there's strong Capricorn energy here in your house of kind of these dealings with other people. So, but Cap energy to me has to do with with persistence, with building things, with laying foundations, very, very practical. And with the Fire of the Strength card, it's the idea of restraining from something, or not showing feelings, or just having the energy to kind of struggle through something that might be a bit difficult. So I would take this as a sign that you are strong, you are building things. Now, you may be a support to somebody in your friend network, or they may be a support to you. But either way, I feel like this is pointing to, and I feel like as far as your goals go, there's this sense of, just keep chipping away, just keep plodding away at what you're doing, and you'll get to where you need to be. Okay, so now we have the 12th house, which is Pisces, and we have the crone with water. So you've got all this fire in terms of what you're showing. This is the house of what you don't show to people, what you might be afraid of. And water indicates that there may be a lot of emotion with strength here. This also indicates, this often indicates a repression of emotion or feeling. And then you have it with the crone, which indicates a need for deep introspection. Introspection in this house. Seeing these two together seems to indicate that you need a time out to kind of dive deep and see, where you're at, particularly how you really feel about things. I think that's fundamentally important right now, especially with all this change going on. Like, you want to, the crone here to me is the culmination of, it's just before the culmination. It's the 9 card. And it has to, before the big change comes, that reevaluation that we have. And reevaluation is absolutely the key phrase here for Mercury retrograde. That is the best thing to do during Mercury retrograde, not to start new things, but to reevaluate where you've been. Okay, overall, you have Nephthys with the 5 of Cups. So yeah, there's definitely the sense of looking back at the past, needing to let things go. There may be concerns about the future and about where you're going, because obviously something has come to an end, and Nephthys indicates that we can't really see yet what's next. Now, Neptune has just gone direct, so that may be a reason a lot of this is coming up. I find that when, all the things that perhaps that we maybe were kind of living in a fog about, now all of a sudden we're going, oh, what's happening there? Like, what are we going to do? And it's going to depend on where Neptune is in your chart. But I feel very strongly here with this that there's definitely a need to let go of the past and turn and look at opportunities. Don't look at losses. Don't look at what you're lacking, but look at what your opportunities are. And it's going to be a time to release old emotions about things. That's it for this week, Libra. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you have a great week. And like I said, please like, subscribe, comment. And we'll see you next week.